Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be doing a bit of work to the Focus, because after my most recent track day in the last video, make sure you guys go check that out. I've now got a new engine issue with the car that we need to sort out, so that's what we're going to be doing today, so let's get right into it. So the other day, after I filled the Focus up, everything was all good, driving home, and then the check engine light comes on. Got home, scanned it with my fault code reader, and this is the code that came up. It was a HO2 S11. So this code is relating to the O2 sensor, the upstream one, so the one before the catalytic converter. And you can tell that because the S11, so the first one stands for bank one, sensor one. So yeah, so that's the top O2 sensor. So that's responsible for, it kind of like reads the air-fuel ratio to see if the engine's putting the right amount of fuel in versus how much air it's coming in. And the problem that we've got is that it's saying the car is running lean, which means it's getting more air than fuel. So you can either run lean, which is more air than fuel, or run rich, which is more fuel than air. Running rich is a lot safer than running lean, because if you run lean, it starts to get hot. That can cause pre-detonation, which gives you all kinds of massive engine issues, and that's definitely not what we want. There's a few causes to why the car might be running lean. Could be fuel related, so we could have faulty, like leaking fuel injectors, not enough fuel pressure going to the rail. Could be stuff like unmetered air, which is air that hasn't been through the MAF sensor, going into the engine, so it's getting more air into the engine than it thinks it's getting. Could be other things like the O2 sensor is working correctly, but the wiring's at fault, or the O2 sensor itself isn't working at all. So running issues, whether it's lean or rich, are typically quite hard to diagnose because there's so many other things it could be. Two other things that just popped in my head: it could be a dirty MAF sensor, or it could be a vacuum leak, which is similar to unmetered air issue. So what I did first is I took my MAF sensor out, gave that a clean, because that's easy as to do. It wasn't dirty, but that didn't fix my issue. Then the next thing I did was head down to Harry's Euro. So Harry's Euro is obviously where I work, and we have a smoke tester. So I took off this induction pipe, took that off, plugged in the smoke tester, and you pump smoke through it. The idea is that when you pump the smoke through it, any leaks, the smoke leaks out of, and you can see it super easy. I had it hooked up for literally about a minute, and I can see smoke coming out of it already. I was having a look, trying to find where it is, and it's coming from down this back left portion of the engine, which got me nervous at first, because I thought, oh, this is going to be exhaust manifold, and I really didn't want to have to replace the exhaust manifold. But after further investigation, as you guys should hopefully be able to see in these videos, it looks like there's the line that goes onto the top of the turbo. One of the lines I had to remove doing my block mod. Looks like it's leaking from there, and it also looks like it's leaking from the bottom of the air intake, from the, I think they refer to it as the turbo crossover or turbo alba, something like that. So it looks like we're leaking from those two places, which is good news, because that's not going to be too difficult to fix, and it's what we're going to be doing in today's video. My plan for that pipe that goes onto the turbos, I'm just going to replace that single-use fixing with a Jubilee clip, and hopefully that will get it on there, get it super tight. And then this turbo crossover hose, which I also suspect to leak, I'm just going to adjust the hose clamp so it's lower down and do it even tighter. So that's the plan for today's video, so we're going to go ahead and get started now. Like I said, removing this first. Hopefully it isn't too difficult. I'm estimating maybe an hour or two, and hopefully that fixes our issues. Ideally, I'd want to smoke test it afterwards, but for now, because I haven't got access to that equipment for the next few days, because I'm filming this over Christmas time, I'm just going to sort this out, clear the code, drive for a few days, see how it goes. Unrelated, or potentially related, I also have an issue where my boost gauge is boosting past the halfway mark, which it shouldn't do if it's stuck. So that could also be related to this. Let's talk more action, let's get into it. First thing to do is just to pull off the intake pipe going from the back to that turbo crossover hose to the airbox. Not too difficult, just some Jubilees and those 10 mils. Now it's time to remove the wipers and the wiper cowl. Luckily on the Focus this isn't a difficult job, because you seem to have to do it to do anything in the engine bay really, but not too difficult. Last thing now is just to reach down in this tiny gap and pull out the turbo crossover pipe. So, time for me to own up. I found one of the issues, and it's definitely my fault. I'm a real sucker for this. It's one of my things I always fucking struggle with, and it's just a stupid thing where you can see, okay, so the hose clamp's supposed to go around this piece right here, and you can see where it's being clamped. That's where it's supposed to be, and that's where it is. So I don't know if it got a bit fucked up like this from me just taking it off now, but no, actually look, you can see where it has been clamped, and that's where it's supposed to have been clamped. So I obviously, this is a bit of a struggle to get in and out. Not too bad, but yeah, so that's one of my issues. It was clamped like this. So that's good. Good in the sense that it's an easy fix. So this and that other pipe I've still got to deal with, but I'm happy that I smoke tested and found stuff like this out, because I assumed I put this back on properly. Yeah, I can't believe it's been running for it's been a month now, and I've had this fucked like this. So yeah, like I said, I'm still an apprentice, so get things wrong every now and then, but at least we found it, so that's good. I'm just going to continue now and take the rest of it off. You guys can see a lot better now. This is that pipe that was leaking, this one right here. So this fitting, I'm hoping, let's see if I can get it now actually. I think I'm going to need 2 hands for it. But I'm hoping I can just actually slide it off of that 19mm nut there. Hopefully I can just slide it off, slide that clamp off, put a Jubilee on, and then put it back on. If not, I'll have to cut that off, which isn't the end of the world. I can just cut that off, and then I'll open the Jubilee all the way up, put it on, and then close it back up. But ideally I can get it off and slide it off my hands, so we'll go ahead and do that now. So, a little bit of good news and bad news then. I have managed to replace the hose clamp, and it is on there loads tighter than it was before, but like you just saw, I found that kind of like, it's almost like a valve inside that fitting, which moves up and down. I'm not sure if it's meant to move up and down. Once you go on boost, maybe it forces it up or something, but yeah, I'm not sure if it's meant to move up and down. I did ask a question in the group, so hopefully I hear back shortly, but for now I've put that back in super tight. So now we just got to put the turbo crossover back on, make sure it's actually fitted properly this time, and then put everything back together, and we'll take it for a bit of a test drive, see if it's boosting good. Right, all done now. So that didn't take too long. I think, like I said, it was about an hour and a half, and a lot of that was me just taking it slow, messing about and stuff like that. I did get some replies on that Facebook post. That valve is apparently normal. It is supposed to move up and down. It's part of the PCV system apparently. And someone literally did comment, if that is leaking, which mine was, not the valve, but from that pipe. They said if that's leaking, then you'll get unmetered air straight into the turbo, which is a cause of lean running. So hopefully, fingers crossed, those are the 2 issues. I won't find out for the next few days, but I'm going to take it for a drive anyway and see how the boost is. And I'll bring you guys along with me for that. Alright guys, so out on the road now. Obviously let the car warm all the way up to oil and coolant temp. So I'm just going to be doing a few pulls, not like smashing it second, third, fourth kind of stuff, like just hard in second or hard in third if I get the route. Trying to keep an eye on my boost gauge. And also just listening out for any weird noises, and then I'll go home, scan it again, see if the fault's there. Fault's still not come back since I scanned it, which is good, but also doesn't really mean much. It can take a few days to come back, and I haven't done any pulls since I found out about the issue, so we'll go ahead and do a second gear pull now to watch my boost gauge. Yeah, it didn't boost past that. Didn't boost past the middle, so try it again. Didn't boost past the middle now, that's what it looks like. Might still be an issue with that, unfortunately. I have to do a bit more research into it. I've heard it might be an actuator issue or something like that. So boosts past So just pulled over now, and I'm gonna scan my car using my Carly. It's a Bluetooth OBD 2 scanner. I scanned it, like I said, before I went on the drive. I've been scanning it every day since I had the code, and I'll scan it again. Nothing came up yet, but we'll find out soon. I'm quite disappointed it's still doing the overboosting thing now. I did think that was going to sort it. I'm not sure why it boosts so high for a stock one. I'll do some research in the groups and stuff and find out what that's all about. So there we go. Looks like I've potentially sorted out my lean running issue. Hopefully that was the issue. It would be a good idea for me to go over everything else and check over the injectors and all that stuff, but at the minute I'm going to leave it like that and hope that's what the issue was. Give it a few days, a few drives, because I've only done like 10Ks since resolving that potential issue. But either way, I'm happy I sorted that stuff out and had a look and gave everything a check over. Also, gave me a good chance to look around the back of the engine since I did my block mod and just 100% confirm there's no leaks as well. So super happy with that. The next video, guys, I've got loads of parts coming from Australia. I won't... Okay, I'll tell you, the next thing we're doing isn't too interesting. It's just a gearbox service. But then we've got braided brake lines coming and upgraded oil cooler and some other cool stuff that's coming. So yeah, going to be some cool videos coming on the car. So make sure you guys stay tuned, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.